What's up, YouTube? My name is Ty, financial professional. Welcome to my channel. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond. This finishes at $13.35 today. That is up 24.77%. So we've been covering this stock for the past month, ever since this initially squeezed. This went all the way from the low of $4.40 to the high of $30, which is over a 580% upside. Absolutely insane. And then Ryan Cohen took a huge dump on all the apes, pulled back all the way down to the $8 range, but in the past two trading sessions, it's been coming back. So last week on Friday, there was bullish news that the company received a $400 million loan. There was the possibility of a bankruptcy, so that's not going to happen anymore, for now at least. And then there are rumors of a Bye Bye Baby spinoff. Just speculation right now, but that could happen. So I'm not quite sure if this is a dead cat bounce or the squeeze is still on, but major price action here in the past 2 days, so I'm very happy for the apes. So the stock is still alive, but at this point, just be very, very careful. Stay safe, guys. This is very dangerous stuff. This was number 3 today on StockTwits after SPY and AMC had over 4,200 mentions, so once again, we're going to analyze it. All right, let's jump right in. Let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, we have a cup and handle in the making. Bottom of the cup being the low of $4.40, and there can be multiple possible tops. It can be $30, $31.70, $39.30, $40, $44.55, or even the high of $53.90. Although I do believe the most realistic top would be $30. But those are all bullish indicators that is telling us that the stock should come back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. Here we have a bull flag developing. It's kind of weird looking bull flag, but here's the flagpole, and here's the flag, which is absolutely huge here. So that's a bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock may be due for a breakout. Down here on the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, the MACD line has not crossed the signal line to the upside just yet, but it looks like it will very soon. So that's a bullish indicator that is telling us that it may be time to buy. And in the aftermarket here, this is running up to 1360. So if this aftermarket action holds, that would be a bullish indicator for tomorrow. That is suggesting that tomorrow the stock will continue to run to the upside. And then we have a double gap down. First gap down was back at 1620. So that's a bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should come back up to 1620 to fill this gap. And the second gap down was back at 2245. So another bullish indicator that is telling us that the stock should eventually come back up to 2245 to fill that gap. And those gaps will either be filled in the short term if the stock continues to squeeze or does a dead cat bounce, or in the longer term when the stock eventually has its day again. And now for the bearish stuff, we also have a double gap up. Kind of hard to see here, but the first gap up was back at 830, so that's a bearish indicator that is telling us that the stock should come back down to 830 to fill that gap. And the second gap up was back at 650. Another bearish indicator that is telling us that the stock should come back down to 650 to fill that gap. And those gaps should fill in the short term. And here recently, we have a head and shoulders developing. Here's the first shoulder, here's the head, back at 30, the high, and in the past few days, the second shoulder is developing. So that's a bearish indicator that is telling us that the stock may be due for a sell-off. Here we had an ascending channel, which the stock broke out to the downside of, so that was a bearish indicator. And now here we have a new descending channel, where the upper channel is around 15 and the lower channel is around 10. So right now the ascending channel is a neutral indicator, but if this breaks 15 to the upside, that would be bullish, and if this breaks 10 to the downside, that would be bearish. The RSI, the Relative Strength Index, is currently at 56, so pretty average there, a little bit above average. So according to the RSI, the current price of 1335 should be a little bit lower. So the RSI is currently a neutral indicator. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now, this is sitting on the support of 1340, which it finished around today. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 1380, 1420, 1450, 1490, 1530, 1565, 1620, 1665, 1710, 1750, 1780, 1805, 1835, 1855, 1890, 1930, 1965, and then 2015. There is resistance above 2015, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be $12.95, $12.60, $12, $11.70, $11.25, $10.90, $10.55, $10.15, $9.65, $9.40, $9.20, $8.85, $8.55, $8.15, $7.95, $7.50, $7.15, $6.95, $6.65, $6.40, $6.10, $5.85, $5.50, $5.20, $5, $4.75, and then the low of $4.40. So right now at the current price, $13.35, the channels to the upside and the downside are very wide, so expect significant price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 715 to the downside, the channel starts to narrow, so expect a significant decrease in price action if/when this breaks 715 to the downside. And this did 137 million in volume today, way above the average of 13 million, so this pump/squeeze today was confirmed by the volume, and this is more volume than the previous few trading sessions, so it does appear like momentum is coming back and the squeeze may possibly still be on. Okay guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. So honestly, I did not think that Bed Bath & Beyond would bounce like this. It looked like a falling knife, and it looked like this was on its way back to the $6 range and lower. So it's been an epic short squeeze so far, may not be over just yet, but again guys, at this point just be very, very careful. This is a straight up gamble right now, not an investment. I think we all know that. So if you want to gamble, only gamble what you can afford to lose. And stay safe, guys. Make sure you set your sell orders and your stop losses. So in the immediate short term here, it's pretty hard to tell which way this is going to go. Again, we have some strong bullish indicators in the cup and handle, bull flag, MACD, aftermarket action, and double gap down. And again, we have some strong bearish indicators in the double gap up and head and shoulders. So there are a lot more bullish indicators than bearish indicators right now. So there is a higher chance of this running to the upside than the downside. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice. Personally, I wouldn't do it. Again, this is a straight up gamble right now, not an investment. This has come up quite a bit already from 850, the low of the squeeze here. So it would kind of be FOMO going long here. A bit risky. That being said, again, in the short term, this has the potential to come back up to 22.45 to fill the gap there, which would be about a 70% upside gain. So pretty good upside potential here in the short term. And again, this should come back down to 650 to fill the gap there in the short term. And from the current price of 13.35, that would be over a 50% downside potential. So I would say going long at the current price, 13.35, would be a high risk, high reward play. So too risky for my liking, but it could pay off pretty big here. But honestly, if you're a bit patient, again, this should come back down to 650 in the short term to fill the gap there. And I think that would be an excellent entry, a way better entry than the current price of 13.35. So from 650 up to 22.45, where the gap is, that would be over a 245% upside potential. So massive upside potential here, and really shouldn't go too much further to the downside. It's near the all-time low. So I would say going long at 650 would be a low risk, high reward play. Definitely worth a shot in my opinion. So if you guys want to gamble, go for it. Just be very careful, and it would definitely have to be for a quick scalp. Get in, get your money, get out. Diamond hands is not the way. Make sure you hit the sell button if you do manage to make a profit. And I can also support holding off and getting this back at 650. I think that would be the much better play. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, seems like a decent play at the moment. This is a pretty average entry here at 13.35 going short. So not bad, but it could definitely be a lot better. So again, in the short term, this has the potential to come back up to 22.45 to fill the gap there, which would be about a 70% upside potential. And again, in the short term, this should come back down to 650 to fill the gap there, which would be over a 50% downside potential. So I would say going short at the current price, 13.35, would also be a high risk, high reward play. But this one is a little bit different than the long side, because if you hold long enough, eventually this should come back down to 650. You may just have to hold it through a squeeze here. So it's pretty risky. But as long as you're able to withstand the upside pressure, this should come back down to 650, and that should be some pretty fat gains on the downside. And I will say, if you don't want to enter at 13.35, I don't blame you. And if this does come back up to 22.45, I think that would be an excellent entry on the short side. A much better entry than 13.35. And from 22.45 down to 650, that would be over a 70% downside potential. I would say going short at 22.45 would be a low risk, high reward play. So definitely worth a shot in my opinion. Can't go too wrong there. So I can support going short at the current price, 13.35 and higher. And again, I would cover at 650 where the gap is for over a 50% downside gain. So whether you decide to go short now or hold off and wait for a better price, you should be able to make some pretty good money here on the downside. But if you enter at 22.45, it would be a lot less risky. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.